Today I wanted to bring you a video on another cancer awareness. So there is a viewer and her name is Marie, and she is battling cancer, and I've been kind of corresponding with her back and forth, and I wanted to make a wreath for her, and it is all about her type of cancer. So she has Hodgkins, and I looked up all of the different cancer colors, and for Hodgkins it's violet, which of course this is the closest I can get. So we are going to make her wreath today. Now I've got all kinds of cute little stuff. My little curlies, you know I love my little curlies. I have a purple wreath form, and I have one of the cancer awareness ribbons, and I'm going to paint this purple. I have some cute little ornamentations we might put on it, all in purple. And once we paint our ribbon, we're going to write something on it. Find the cure or something like that. So I have several different colors of purple. So we have this awesome, this is a Deco poly mesh. So you know this is kind of a thicker weave. And then we have this poly mesh, and it has a lot of different colors in it. It's close to a basket weave, but not exactly. It's very close actually. So this is a basket weave, and this is the white and two different colors of purple. So I thought it would be fun to just combine these together. And then I have a couple of 10-inch. So these are all 21-inch by 10 yards. These are the 10 by 10 in two different colors of purple. And then of course we have lots of ribbon. So we're just gonna kind of have fun decorating it. So I'll kind of move some of this out of the way and we can get started. So this wreath form right here, I got this from Craft Outlet, where I got pretty much the majority of the Deco mesh. This is a 15 by 24, and all that means is that the base of this is 15 inches, but when you put these ties out, it will be a 24-inch. So we're going to do something similar to what we've done before, but it's going to be a little bit different, and I think a little bit more fun. So, and I don't know if I showed you this. This is the little Deco Flex tubing. We're going to use some of this. We haven't really used this before, but I think it would be really cute to add some big splashes of color. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut some of this mesh. Okay. So to do that, I'm going to use my mat that, you know, won't get cut. Let me see if I can adjust this camera a little bit so you can see it better. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to open each one of these up. If you have seen another video that I did that's similar to this, you'll start recognizing what it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to do kind of the poof curl method, except we're going to do the poof petal method like we've done in our last cancer wreath, except instead of folding it over, we're going to put it out lengthwise. We're going to use all three of these. So we're going to do probably at least one layer on the bottom and 2 layers on the top, because we really kind of want 3 distinct layers. So this is similar to what I did buddy. This is, Ross decided to come in.
Hi.
Where are you? Where you're hiding. Okay. He's hiding.
Wait, show Bella if you're going to show me.
Okay, I'll try. Hold on. Let's see if I can get it over there. Sorta.
Hi.
So there's Ross and Bella. Bella's sitting on the little couch behind me.
Here's me.
So similar to the one that I did, it was a patriotic one. So we're going to do something a little bit similar to that. You have to stick your face down here. There you go. Alright, so what I'm going to do is very much like what I did when I did that wreath. Of course, you know I always like to start out with a clean edge. You leaving, buddy?
Yeah, hi.
Okay.
I just wanted to say hi.
Okay. So I want to start out with a clean edge. Whoops. There we go. Okay. So once I get my clean edge, look at that. It might help if I keep everything straight and cut on a straight line. There we go. So I'm going to measure out 11 inches. So other people that I've seen do this, do it with 10 inches. And honestly, I really have a lot of trouble with 10 inches. It seems like 10 inches is a little bit too small to get a good twist for the poof, and 12 inches is a little bit too much. So I do mine at 11 inches. So I just find my 11-inch mark and go up. And so this is 3 pieces. One of these is going to cover probably 2. So we're going to go ahead and cut several of these pieces. So I'll show you one more time. You just want to roll it out together. There we go. And cut at 11 inches. There we go. So if you haven't seen my videos before, this is a rotary cutter. It's by Fiskars, and you can find these at Walmart. The same thing with my mat. This is also a Fiskars, and this is great for cutting mesh. It's great for cutting fabric. So anything that's pretty much crafty. It really does save a lot of time because you can roll out several at one time and cut them all at once. And when you're making a wreath and you're having to cut a lot, it really does make a difference. So I'm going to continue cutting these out, and then when I come back, we'll start putting it on the wreath. Okay, so I've gotten quite a few cut, and I have some ruffles cut, and I also painted the ribbon. Now I got a paint pen, and I think what I'm going to do is write Find a Cure and then Hodgkins on the other side, and then we're just going to put it right in the middle. So we'll come back to that, and we're going to put these ruffles aside. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is, and I'm going to start on the outer ring, the bottom. I'm going to open all my ties. I'm going to make sure that nothing's sticking out in the back, because I don't want to try to open the ties while I'm putting something down. That never works out well. Okay, nothing sharp so far. Whoopsie, here's one. So when I find one that's sharp, I will turn it around and then make sure I got all the sharp edges out of the way. Okay. Alright, so once I get all these opened, what I'm going to do is, this is very much like the patriotic one that I made. So I'm going to alternate my 3 colors. And I don't know if you remember or if you saw it, but what I did the last time is I took the ends and I curled them up like this. I took the 2 ends and I made a little curl with them, and in the middle that was a poof. So we're going to do this slightly differently. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the ends like this, and then we're going to tuck in the center like this. And then we're going to pinch our ends like this. We're still going to have a poof, but we're going to have 2 little petals coming up instead of having the little curl. Now this is the poly burlap, and I don't know how well you can see this, but this is a very thick, nice Deco mesh, because it's poly mesh. It's very thick, it doesn't fray very much. It's just very nice looking. So I'm just going to take this, I'm going to make sure that my little petals are about the same. Then I'm just going to tie it down one good time. Okay. And I want to make sure that my poof is facing down, because if it's not, I'm going to have a big problem with that poof. So I make sure that my poof is facing down. See how nice that looks? See, we have like a little pointed almost petal end. We have a nice poof, and then we have another pointed petal end. So this is very similar to what we did before. It's just that we're using a little petal instead of the curl. So similar to the other wreath that I did, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to take the next piece, we're going to pull it at the diagonal, and then we're just going to make sure these are tucked in like that. And then we're going to pinch it on the ends where we've pulled it. Make sure they're about even. Make sure our poof is on the bottom. So see, you want that end that opens up on the bottom. And then we're going to reopen this side that has this little petal in it. So just reopen it. Put this down right on top of that, like this. Close it back down one good time. And then I'm just kind of pull this other petal up. And then I'm going to go into the next one and tie it down. I'm not going to tie it, I mean, I want to tie it tight enough that it's not going to come out. But I don't want to tie it real tight. I'm going to make sure my poof looks good, like that. And then I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to take it, I'm going to pull it at the diagonal, and just kind of tuck these ends in, like that. And then pinch it here, make sure they match. And then do the same thing. Pull it back, open this tie back up, put this petal right on top of the last one. And I'll put it down pretty quickly so I know it's not going to come loose. I'll tie it back one good time. Then I'll pull both of these up so that I can make sure that I have my poof in the right place. So see here, my poof's open there. So I'll put my little petal down and I'll tie it down. And then I'll fluff out my poof. So see how pretty that is? See, I like this because it's more like, to me, it looks more like little petals. So it's similar to when you make flower and you make these little petals. So I like that. It looks more like points to me than it does having the ruffle or the curl. So I'll just keep doing this all the way around the bottom, going back into the last one so that they're both going See how you have one here, one here, one here, one here. See, and we'll have the same thing. We'll have one here, we'll put another one here. So I'll go all the way around the bottom. There shouldn't be many more. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. And then when I come back, we'll do the start on the inner layer. So I'll be back and we'll start on the next layer. Okay, so I've gotten the bottom done. So I'm going to start on the top. I have quite a few cut. So what I'm going to do, similar to the bottom, is I am going to alternate them. So I don't want to start with the exact same one. So I'm going to go about right here. So this is the purple and white, and I'll start with the poly mesh. Do the same thing. Pull it at a diagonal, tuck the ends under, and then pinch on both sides. Make sure it's an even amount. Make sure that my center is turned down, and then I will go up here and put my first one down. So same thing. Tie it down one time, both sides, just like that. And make sure my poof is in a good spot. Then go to the next one, same thing. And you do have less loops on the top, so there is a chance that you will end up with some on the same, some of the same ribbons, and that's okay. Mesh, some of the same mesh. Okay, so pull it a diagonal, twist it under, pinch at both sides. So we see we have our little petals, we have our little poof. Then we go back into the one we were just in, put this one on top of that petal, move that petal out of the way, and put the next one down. And tie it down one time, and pull our poof out, like that. Okay? And we'll go to the next one, and we'll just keep doing this all the way around. Okay, pull it a diagonal, tuck it underneath, pinch both sides, make sure our middle is facing under, then go back into the last tie, put down our petal, pull this petal up or down, and then go into the next tie. Like that. And then pull our poof out. So we're going to do that all the way around so that we have 2 layers. And then we're going to come back and do a third layer. And when we do the third layer, what we're trying to accomplish is we're pushing this second layer that we're putting on down so that it is more like in the middle. And then when we put this inner layer on, it like covers it. So it's like we have 3 distinct layers. So I'm going to keep putting this one around, and then I'll come back and we'll put the next one on. And I did want to show you, if you have just a plain wreath form and you want to use your own pipe cleaners, all you do is pick a point, put a pipe cleaner on, and how you know where to put the next one is you want to tie it pretty good. So if you have a middle section, you want to tie it around the middle section. If you're in the middle, you want to tie it up and down. And then you take what's left and you go over, and then you put your next tie right here. You tie this one down good, you come over, you put your next tie, same thing. Come over, put your next tie. So this is actually a 4 layer. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, if you had 3, you would still do the same thing. You would put one on the bottom, one on the top. So see, I have one that is here at the bottom and one that is here at the top. So when you're doing a wreath like this, you want to have 2 distinct layers. Even though we're really making 3 layers, on your wreath form, you only need 2. And it is perfectly fine to use pipe cleaners instead of buying the wreath form that has the ties already attached. So really the only good purpose in getting one of these is that it does save a little time, and you cannot really get pipe cleaners that are this thick. So that's really the big difference. Otherwise, there's not a huge difference because most of the time you are not going to see either these ties or these ties. So just do whatever's comfortable for you. I have shown this in a few other videos. If you want to go back and see me do this in total, but I just did want to show you this and just mention that it's perfectly fine if you just take a regular wreath form and do your own ties. So I'll be back, and when I get back, we'll start on the second row on the top layer. Okay, so I've gotten the second layer on, and I'm just gonna kind of pull all of these little petals back like that, because we're gonna put the next layer on and we want it to be more towards the center. So, all right. So we're gonna do the same thing again. And just take our mesh, pull it at the diagonal, tuck it under. See, I want to make sure you can see, I'm just tucking it under and then pinching it on the ends. See, and that makes kind of a little pocket, which is our little poof. Okay? Then I will pick a place that I'm going to go back in. Now we'll just put the second layer down. This time I will twist it about 2 times because I don't want it to come loose, but I know that I am going to go back in it for ribbons. So, there we go. And then I'll just kind of scoop it out. Make sure that the one before it is below it. So see? So this one's done. So I have 3 distinct poofs, 3 distinct little layers. There we go. Like that. So I'll just keep going around doing the same thing. Pull at an angle. Tuck it under, and then pinch at the ends. There we go. Okay. Then I'll go back in where I just was. Go right on top of that one. There. Back in here. Pull out my poof. Okay. You see how full that is right there? Where we've gotten the 3 layers in. So I'm just going to keep going around, doing the exact same thing. So just pull at an angle, tuck these ends under, pinch at the end, Make sure we have our little puff right there. And then go back into the last one. Tie that down. Okay. Same thing. Go on top of this one. And then I'm gonna move my petals around and make sure that my poof is there. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna keep going around the top, and I will clip little stragglers as I see them. You're always gonna have some of that. Okay. And then when I come back, we'll cut some ribbon, and I did write on here, so I just put Find a Cure and then Hodgkins. I didn't put anything fancy because I think, you know, I kind of like the handwritten. So I will keep doing this. When I get back, we'll put some ribbons on, and then we'll be ready to put our sign on and a couple little embellishments, and we'll be done. I'll be right back. Okay, so we've gotten all 3 layers on. Oops. Got a couple little pieces I see back here. Okay. You see how pretty that is? I just really like that. And so I thought that we would end up using some of the 10-inch, but this is so full I don't really think we need it. So I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to put some ribbons in it, and after I get done with this, I will spray this with this E6000 adhesive spray, and what that does is that'll just kind of stiffen up these ends. I will specially spray like these ends here, and then it won't fray so much. So I'm also going to take this, I want to put this in the middle like that. So I'm going to cut a couple holes in it with my drill, and then I have a little kind of purple sparkly embellishment. And this wreath is so pretty all by itself that it doesn't really need a ton, but of course I can't really make a wreath without doing at least some ribbon. So I have kind of a combination of different ribbons. I have the chevron, I have purple, polka dots, I have a white shimmery, and I have a purple shimmery. So I thought I would cut some of these. So I'm going to cut some of each of these. I don't think I'm going to put something in every single one, just because I just really like how these little petals show, and I don't want to distract too much from that. So I might put maybe half with ribbon, but we'll just cut some and see how it looks as we're putting it on. So I'm just going to take my tool, and what I do is I just wrap it around like this. And I did put duct tape on it, and the reason I put duct tape on it is because it makes it very slick. So what I can do is slide my scissors inside there and cut the ribbon off. See, and then we have 3 cut. And then we can do our little edge. Like this. cut a few more of these. And then we'll put some on. And when I'm picking out ribbons for mesh, I just try to find, corresponding colors, but also, colors that will stand out. So see, you can see this will stand out because of those white dots. This will stand out because it's kind of a darker shade. Same thing with this. And of course this because of the stripes. So that's how I do when I pick out ribbons for my wreaths. So don't feel intimidated when you're picking out ribbons. Just look for colors that blend well, and that's all you need to do. There's no right and wrong. It's all about what you like and what your style is. Okay. So I'll just cut a few more and then we'll put some on. And we will put our decorations on, and that'll be it. Okay, so I've gotten some ribbons cut. So I will just pick 2 ribbons and put them together like this. Pinch them in the middle. Open my tie up. And this time when I tie it down, I'm going to tie it several good times. 1, 2, 3. At least 3 times. And then I like to spread my ribbons out because I really want to see both of those pretty ribbons. And then I kind of fluff them up so that I make sure they're standing up like that. Okay? I'm going to do another one. Okay. And I think I might see what it's like if I do every other one. So let me do that. And we'll see what it looks like. Okay. So pull them apart. Fluff them up. Okay. So we'll do that one. There. So see, it gives some color, but it's not overwhelming, so I like that. Because one thing we're going to do is we're going to add in some of this on the top, so I think we'll do that where we don't have ribbons. But I am going to put some ribbons on the bottom, probably the same thing, like every other one. So I'll just work on that. And I'll do the same thing, just spreading them out so you can see both ribbons like that. So that one. Okay, so I'll just fluff it out like this. Then let's see. This one. Need to do this one. Hi, Ross. Ross came back in to see us.
Hi, Ross, once again. Bye, I just want to say hi.
Bye, buddy. Okay. So I'll fluff these out. Well, let's see if there's any left. One more. Okay, and then that will be it for the ribbon. Okay. And fluff that one out. Like that. There we go. Alright, so now we've got our ribbons in. I want to show you what we're going to do with this. This is Deco Flex tubing. Move this a little bit. I'll show you this. So, I like this. It just kind of gives another dimension. It comes in a bunch like this. And so I'll just find the end. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to measure, about 7 inches. And then this one already has a bend in it, so we may just work with that bend. Let's see. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so I'm going to do 10 inches, and I'm just going to make some loops almost like a bow tie. And I'm going to do that twice on both sides. It was just a flicker, it's okay.
It might go off again. Happen again. It might
It's
go off.
okay, it's okay.
If it does,
Boys are nervous because we lost power a little while ago, so
gosh.
they're in here just in case it goes out again.
Yeah, I don't want to
Guys.
find my way through the darkness.
Whoops.
Don't
Yeah.
worry, I have the
Okay.
light right here.
So I'm just going to cut it off at the same length right there. And then what we're going to do is take this with these pieces like this. I'm just going to hold it in the middle like this. Bring my wreath back. And where I didn't put a ribbon, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to put this down. Put it down and tie it down. Then I'm going to tie it down 3 good times.
Imagine if the power just goes out again.
That looks a little bit big, so I'm going to snip that off.
Especially
So that's what that looks like.
Especially while I'm recording.
So I'm going to do the same thing for each one of these at the top. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to do 4 of those. I'm going to do the same thing. I'll measure out to 7, then to 10, make my loop, make a second loop. See, and what I'm doing is making the 2 loops and holding them on separate sides so that when I put it down, it's not difficult. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Then I'll make another loop on this side. Hold that down in the middle. Another loop on the other side. Hold that in the middle. And then cut the tubing right there. So now I'll take this, open my tie back up, place it down right in the middle, and then tie this off. And tie it off
That's right.
3 good times. So there we go. Okay, so I'm going to do that 2 more times. Okay, so the same thing. Measure to 7.
6,
Then
5.
10. Okay, make 2 loops. Hold them in the middle. Make 2 more. Still holding in the middle. That. Okay, and then just snip it off. Open your tie back up. Place it down. And tie it back. 3 good times. There. Okay, we have 1 left. Okay, so we've gotten everything in on the top. So now I'm going to take my little purple ribbon and I'm going to put a couple holes in it. So I've just got my drill and I have a really tiny drill bit because I don't want there to be a big hole. Now I'll just hold it over the edge of my table.
Oh, I thought that was going to be loud.
No. And just drill a hole in it.
Normally the bigger ones are loud.
And then one in the back. Okay. So I've gotten 3 little holes in it. And what I like to do is take my floral wire. And if I think the floral wire is going to show, I'll take it and paint it. But I just run my floral wire through it. And then I'll take it and twist it in the back like this. Okay.
I'm tired.
Okay. Like that. And then I'll put a dab of glue on it just to make sure it's not going to move. See, this side here got a little messy, so that's of course why I use this side. So I'll just make sure I have enough to tie down. Then I'll just cut that off. And I'll do the same thing with these 2 holes. See, and that's so small, generally you can't see it. But if it looks to me like you can see it, I'll just put a little paint on it. This wire does paint very well.
Why do you use wire instead of string?
Well, I use wire because it's a lot harder for it to come off.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I thought you used it because you could just bend it to a point where it's just it's easier than string.
Well, that too. But it's a lot stronger than string.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that. Then I'll cut that off. Oh. There we go. And then here. Okay. See, and I'm just pulling it around back and tying it down. Oops. And then I will push it down and put a little bead of glue on that just to make sure it's not going to move. Okay. So then I will just take this and I will just run that right through to the base and tie that on. It looks nice just like it is. So I think I'll just tie this down, and then that'll be it. And this will be the awareness wreath for Hodgkins. And I do want to say, if you have time, if you would say a quick prayer for Marie. She is a single mother and she has 2 children, and she is fighting cancer, and she could really use your prayers. So I hope you enjoyed this, and give it a like and comment and subscribe. Did you guys want to say anything?
Hope you enjoyed the video. Check out my channel.
Check out Roz's channel. Okay, I'll see y'all next time.
It's mostly gaming, but
Yes.
I'm hopefully gonna be doing vlogs soon.
Okay. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.